Welcome, 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 everyone, to another adventure into reality. Today is going to be an open call-in show. Just a reminder for those of you who are logging into the Zoom room, Zoom has some updates where everyone must be admitted in each individually. So if you find yourself in the queue and the guest in the waiting room, just wait a second, you'll get admitted to it. So that is a Zoom function that's changed. And if you are listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or anywhere else and want to be a part of the conversation where we select all of our questions from the Zoom room, we interact with our audience there, as well as take in calls. So for those of you that will want to call in today will be an open call-in show. We'll be getting our first caller in just a minute here. Robert is putting up all the information there. And on a personal note, man, this whole election thing is getting very tiresome, to the point where no matter how much you try to ignore it, it like tries to seep inside the front of your face. So if anybody wants to talk about some of the background stuff that's going on, or what's really going on in the unseen world, stand up and ask those questions. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of call. Actually, I ask everyone to raise their hand first if they want to be a caller. I can go and check to see what's going on here. So hold on.
We got quite a few hands.
We got quite a few already. Let's just give another second for people to raise their hand so you can put it in the great bin of selection. Now, everyone that's new to the show, I do not choose the callers. Robert has a mystical, magical wheel of callers in which he taps upon and selects the callers through that. All right, Robert, let's spin that up and see what the universe provides to us first.
Alrighty, let's see. Byron, you are getting a signal to unmute.
Byron, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Gold Coast, Australia.
Gold Coast, Australia. How's it going?
It's going really good. I just missed the beginning. If you specified what type of questions.
Oh, anything. It's an open call-in for whatever today. I was just saying my particular mood with having to deal with the world.
Okay, awesome. I had a question about a type of crystal, which I'm not sure you've talked about, called a zestulite. And I know you know lots about crystals. Has that one ever come up for you?
Does it have any secondary names also known as names?
It's interesting. It's got a story, like a backstory, that it's basically all quartz based, and it's supposedly a group of beings called the Azez infuse central sun light into these pockets of rock around the world, and they get discovered, and they hold higher frequency, though if you look at them, they still look like quartz.
Okay, so very similar to Herkimer diamonds.
Possibly.
What do you want to know about them?
Just, I guess, if that, because the only way they're verified, I guess, is if like some person says, yes, this feels like it's higher frequency, and that's kind of how they're verified. I'm a little bit drawn to them, but I'm curious if it's just a marketing thing or if there's like a bigger thing behind that.
Well, all meanings behind crystals are marketing.
True.
Okay. And does marketing influence us in the spiritual world? Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's still about your personal belief. And if the stone connects to you, it connects to you. And it will serve what it needs to serve, even if its qualities aren't in alignment.
Yeah.
So is there something specific you want to know about these crystals? They're there in their record. They're not a made up thing. It's not a light worker word salad. It's something that's real. And it's something these same beings have been seeding through in and out of time to making sure there's always pockets of them available.
Cool. I think that's all I really wanted to know on that. And then one other question, I've been working a lot with the revocations, and the term sentient beings comes up, and I've heard, I think I heard on a couple shows where you named how many kind of sentient beings there are. I just wanted to see, in relation to animals, like is there like a line drawn of like, is an ant a sentient being?
Good question. A lot of people have come up into something similar. So it's all about consciousness? And has that consciousness repeated itself? And does it understand source connection or disconnection? Those are the main tests for consciousness being valid, is that it
Yeah.
can repeat itself lifetime to lifetime. Even though it may go through the forgetting or whatever the rules of the planet are, it is a self-sustaining incarnation journey. So
Okay.
not all cows are self-sustaining incarnation journeys. There's
Oh,
a soul
interesting.
in it, not as a
Yeah.
soul in it, but it may not be an experienced one, but it still needs to go through that experience. The same thing with the fish, the cats, and the dogs. There are certain cats and pets that you meet, you're like, my God, that's a fully aware being inside there.
Yeah.
Eh?
Interesting.
That's because
Yeah,
they chose
'cause
to live it. They chose to live in that. And there are many, many, many examples of people having really shitty lives, and they're like, fuck it, I'm going to take it off and be a cat for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember
Awesome. Yeah.
many years ago, I did a live reading in Florida, and there was this lady who, and I forget her name, Mary Jane Banks. Anyways, so she was this kick-ass wizard warrior, destroying all the bad guys, and then when it was all done, she decided to go and be a cat on a beach in Florida for 100 years.
Yeah.
Eh?
Nice.
So-
Because that's kind of one of the reasons behind veganism for me. I know there's so many opinions and angles on it, but just in looking at kind of all life on that level as sentient.
So if it's repeating itself, yes. If it goes to the astral world and can't immediately regenerate its next life, it's not achieved full conscious awareness yet.
Okay.
Now, this I'm using as the references of what the rest of the universe sees as awake and aware consciousness. Right now, the only thing that's even recognized as consciousness is technically our corporations, because
Yeah.
they've been made real, and there is no proof of consciousness in science.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can measure a corporation's shit.
Nice.
So it'll be a long journey into politics no longer being about the human skin suit and the experience it demands to be enforced on everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing is the Great Awakening isn't just about us humans. It is all the dogs, the cats, the thises, and the that's. And in that one show you were describing, I was trying to tell you how many sentient beings there are. There's roughly 7.3 billion people on this world. I say that there's 157 billion living things on this world. For the longest time, it was around 57 billion years. And it's gained that extra 100 billion conscious life forms because many off-worlders who understand celestial technology can jump in as a consciousness, enter the incarnational grid, be born, have an experience here, and then go through an awakening at a point where there were people that are going to well needed. So the planet has been well seeded with star children to make sure the awakening is going to have its beautiful fireworks ceremony.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, cool. This caught me off guard, so I think that's all, and I'll let it pass to another person at this point.
All right. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you so much.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel callers and see who is next.
Excuse me. Thank you for taking that, Byron. Lucius, you're getting a signal to unmute.
Lucius, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you calling from today?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
I just want to see if I'm going to be getting a surgery done on the 12th. It's a mastectomy. And I'm just wondering how things are looking.
So tell me about the cancer first, and what have you gone through already?
It's not that bad. I mean, I had the cancer probably for a year before I caught it.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why I'm having just a mastectomy on the left side. And hopefully they'll get all of it. They seem like they can.
Uh-huh.
But I've been kind of going through this whole change in my life since this happened. Well, everybody has this year, but you know, I just kind of feel like something big, I mean, big changes are right around the corner for me. And I think I used to have, I don't know, some dark energy following me, but I'm hoping that's going to be a change.
So are you asking me if you should or shouldn't have the surgery?
Well, if I shouldn't, please tell me.
No, you absolutely should have the surgery.
Okay, yeah. I'm already scheduled to have it done.
Right. You need to have in your mind that everything medically done was done so that your faith can continue going on. Because a lot of what I'm sensing in you is broken faith.
It's broken faith?
Yes. And faith can break many different ways and shatter into many different shards. And rebuilding it is not a particularly easy journey because it requires a lot more faith to mend our broken faith. And it's a summoning of the willpower to be present. Because
yeah,
that
not
day,
try not to.
Right, that day of success has come for you already. You're not dead. You're living and breathing another day. And now the days that are ahead of you, what is it that you want to do to fulfill yourself?
I'm planning on moving to Florida and being near the ocean. And I do have a job that will be able to sustain me in my field of expertise.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm a therapist.
A psychological therapist?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How long have you been doing that for?
Since 2009, probably graduated in 97.
Yeah, it's quite some time.
Uh-huh.
You're not a lifer 40 years doing it. That's what I wanted to know. So there's more to you than just continuing your job.
I know. I've been kind of feeling like there's something else.
Yeah, but, there's an infinite amount of things for you to do, but right now you are so locked and rigid, and I mean locked and rigid, that you don't have any give or take, left or right, up or down, to even allow other thoughts in. How hard was the chemo on you?
I haven't had chemo so far. I've refused. They didn't offer it to me. I think they're going to be able to just do the surgery. I didn't want to take chemo, so I opted for the surgery. I'm like 55.
But you're still going to have chemo afterwards.
Not necessarily. That's not what they told me.
Have you signed up for any of the alternative treatment methods? You are in California.
That's going to be offered to me afterward. That will be offered to me, just, as a precaution that it won't come back.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It just, your surgery recovery has the chance of, the surgery point has the chance of where the reinfection would be. That's why you want to be treating when you choose to go non-chemo. There's a whole other gambit of stuff they prepare the body for.
Uh-huh.
Because the removing of the cancer itself, and without the chemo it's a very tough choice. Very tough choice. You should already been on the other drugs even before your surgery. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So you maybe need to take a second look at some of your choices here and realize you maybe have blocked something unintentionally.
Oh, like it spread, like it might have spread.
It could have. Yeah, you don't know. Okay, first thing first, I never want anyone to take chemo, but there are certain people that it just has accelerated so fast. Chemo is the last choice. Okay, but before you choose chemo, there's 1,000 incredibly potent, powerful drug systems, as well as cannabis, that are proven leaders in reducing tumors and not even having to have the surgery.
Right.
As long as you're doing the proper scans and the biopsies come back. Okay, that's tumor reductive. So you may need, is your healthcare not paying for this?
Yeah, I got on insurance, so it's paying for it. Yeah,
Okay, how much is it paying for?
I only have to pay $300 for the surgery.
Okay, and then you didn't have chemo. That's why you have no bill.
Right.
Right. Because your chemo bill would have been like 400,000, 300,000.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the insurance will pay for that if I need it. I'm sure it would, most of it, right?
Mhm. Well, it all depends on your chemo clause. I don't know what your insurance chemo clause is.
Yeah, they never really offered me chemo because they saw it.
I can't imagine that. Doctors are chemo crazy right now.
I know, but with COVID now, it was just, I can't even go into it, how it was just hard for me to get them to do their job and give me a surgery. It's a long story, but
When were you diagnosed?
so I was diagnosed in end of March,
Right when
and that's when COVID
lockdown,
started.
right
Yeah,
when lockdown took over and they ended all
yeah,
elective surgeries. Yes.
that's right.
Okay.
And it's been taking me this long to get a surgery, and they were going to do it like in 3 days, and now it's taken this long for them to do it since COVID.
6 months later.
Yeah, I'm serious.
7 months later. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's malpractice right there.
I know, but I know
That's
I agree,
malpractice
but
right there. That's what's because that cancer could have grown 5 centimeters by now.
I had to keep on them all the time.
They
kept
didn't-
delaying
they
it,
didn't-
delaying
they
it,
didn't-
delaying it.
Wow. This is a travesty. Absolute travesty. That's how the cancer chemo alternatives work. I know all the hospitals use pretty much the same check that stuff anymore.
That's true.
That's why I'm saying this is pure malpractice. COVID or not, it's pure malpractice.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to get on some form of cannabinoid therapy. My best recommendation is you can go to one of the cannabis shops that are in California and ask for THC suppositories, cannabis suppositories. They will go your best route of you absorbing THCA combined with juicing the actual cannabis plant. Now, if you're worried about getting high, when you take it in a rectal format like that, you don't exactly get high. It just takes your pain away and it helps your cancer be reduced. And then the juicing of the cannabis plant also is a very critical process of helping you reduce tumors.
Okay. I don't mind doing it the other way either.
No, you got to do both ways. You got to use the rectal suppositories plus the juicing. When you use it in a rectal suppository, it actually bypasses the liver and allows the medicine to go to immediate action on you, and it's absorbed right through the blood layer, so it immediately goes to the damaged areas. That's why rectal suppositories are the greatest use of cannabis for any type of cancer or heavy injury situation.
Okay.
And then, have you ever smoked cannabis?
Yeah.
Okay, well, be a good idea for you to pick it up a little bit.
Okay.
You're going to be getting most of it through the suppositories. Okay. But having a little extra on hand will always do you good. Because post-surgery, you're going to go through a lot of pain. And I think this is where you have to step into your faith that the cancer is clear. And you got to go into that believing journey of yourself. And you got to become the crystallized butterfly. You got to weave the cocoon around you, that chrysalis of life, and identify the parts of yourself that you want to shine for the rest of your life.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. What legacy do you want to leave the world?
I've always been a person of faith, but nowadays, my faith has been misplaced. for all these years, and
Let's
the more
replace misplaced with shattered.
well, and put faith in the wrong. Blind faith is not. You have to put your faith in the right things. Don't you agree?
Not always. Not always. You do have to put your faith someplace, but sometimes faith occupies things that don't have place or space. That's the tough part.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Well, I see I've had a journey of faith. I think, I missed out a lot because of religion, though. It's you've had shows on it, how religion and spirituality can kind of steal your just having a life, a regular life.
Mhm.
So I'm okay with the mistake if you want to call them mistakes. I'm okay with the way I've lived. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm not really down on myself about it all.
I get that part, but there's still parts of you that want to shine that haven't been allowed to shine.
Yeah, I do feel like I have a lot
and what I'm saying is your faith has got to be the light to shine on those glowing parts of yourself that need more light.
The way I've lived pretty
right.
Those parts of myself, are they all there, or some kind of scattered?
They're scattered everywhere.
Can you help me with that? Or
I've been trying to. I'm trying to determine what is going to be the best journey for you here.
I've been wondering the same thing. And, I'm thinking along your lines right now, and I've thought about it. Don't you think I might need some kind of knowledge about what has actually happened to me? And
you wouldn't understand you wouldn't understand it because you don't have any of the modern faith stuff backing you up, because you gave up on faith so long ago. You're still using an archaic system of faith that has no application to the description of what you're asking to.
The way I see it, can I tell you the way I see what happened to me? Yes. I feel like something that I probably went through something really, really bad. And
you weren't sexually abused physically.
No, not. I'm talking about spiritually, all spiritually, not anything in my third dimensional life.
Okay.
I feel like something might have happened to me really spiritually, maybe in another dimension or something. And
no. I'd tell you right away, no. There are times that we get torn away from certain versions of ourselves, but these aren't applicable to this lifetime. Those are many ancient times ago. And if you were to rediscover it this lifetime, it would be an assist you to the journey of freeing your former selves.
I feel like I want to integrate.
Time doesn't have a back door anymore.
So what are you saying? It's not worth thinking about integration?
No, you're just looking at it in the wrong way.
How should I look at it?
When you became a teenager, 12, 13, where were you living?
Bismarck, Arkansas.
Okay, were you having lots of nightmares then? Or did they come later?
I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
You don't even remember having nightmares?
I don't know. There's been some times where I remember going places and wondering where was I, wondering if I could get back.
Okay, and you never wrote any of that down?
I remembered it all these years, but no, I didn't write it down.
Yeah, but you've lost a lot of what it was. Otherwise, you'd have a lot more in your recall.
I think when I woke up, I didn't really remember that much. I just remembered
you went somewhere
that I was somewhere really far away.
Yep, far away. Now, that has nothing to do with what I'm referring to.
Okay, what's going on then?
there are times there are extra density beings, not extra dimension, density, meaning they operate at such a dense frequency. This isn't necessarily good or bad, that just their presence alone can damage consciousness. And I think actually in the land that you were living on were these natural high frequency pumps, like a bass drum that happens. And there was some high density or extra density entity in the deep underground areas that caused a massive burst of energy to come up through the ground and then go into your young body where you were in a odd particular state. And I think it stretched your reality, almost like stretchy pants that can't stretch anymore. And you've been trying to put yourself back together since then.
I had the feeling that it was like a dense.
Okay, and it wasn't evil or good. It was as an elemental source. And you just happened to be in the way of the energy coming out of the ground and going up into the sky. Now, nothing is coincidence.
So why did this happen to me? What am I supposed to do with it?
Well, first thing first, it wasn't supposed to suppress you and put you in the position that you're in today. It was supposed to open you up to new forms of communication and crystallize your DNA immediately so it couldn't be reversed by the system.
Well, at that time, I did start communicating very, very well with spirit.
Yeah,
when I was 13
it's what you were activated to do. But you shut it down.
I could have a full-on conversation with right,
point. But you shut it down.
No, I mean, well, let me tell you this. The information that I was getting, a lot of it was clouded by my religion.
I get all that. I get out that this is why it was shut down. I understand.
Right, because I actually believed what I was taught in church.
Mm-hmm. You never doubted. And you were supposed to have doubt.
I was afraid to.
Okay, that fear is what's kept you away from that source of energy that changed you at a very young age. You can begin accepting this source in a different way and change the damage from trauma into great benefit to yourself. Do you have there's everyone in the awakening community would cut off their right arm to have your crystallized DNA.
Well, I don't believe that way anymore. I'm totally not religious like that. I don't have any of that.
Then you need to become religious in a new way. How? Personal religion. You don't need a priest class to tell you when to pray.
I do. I'm a spiritual person. Okay, I do.
I believe you, but you need more in your life. Part of that greater calling was for you to be a very powerful ceremonial leader who can hold the energy between rituals and ceremonies, that people can palpably feel their frequency.
Right. I believe that. Okay. Well,
you build your direction so that you know that part of your ongoing and evolving faith is, can you let it out fully? And let it be a part of a ritual and ceremony you do on a regular basis, so you get to know that part of yourself.
So make up my own ceremony that I feel like is okay.
You can do a fire ceremony. Can you do an outdoor fire?
Yeah, I've gone to them, and maybe I can think of another ceremony that's really not done before. That's kind of what I'm used to. I mean,
my advice when I started start easy. Okay, it can be a pot of water on a stove still. All right.
Speaking of water,
start easy.
Do you see anything in me that's really connected to water now?
Yes.
That's what I've been starting.
So
Connection to water.
water is a secondary energy you want to practice. You have a lot more fire inside you than anything. So if you start
Fire.
playing with water, you're going to start dousing your stuff that calls you to action.
So you think fire? Okay.
Yeah, fire. Can you do an outdoor fire by yourself?
No, I mean I rent, so I don't think that's allowed. But you never know. I might find a place. Yeah,
Do you have a backyard at all?
a backyard, but it's not really mine. It's neighbors. I mean, it's.
I mean, do you have a
I know
spot
they
you could
would
put?
not
Do you have a
let-
spot you could do an outdoor grill? Is there that basically is a place for a gas grill?
Yeah.
You can do a fire ceremony then. Just get a gas grill. Okay. You can pray over that propane tank. Absolutely, and impress your prayers into that tank. Okay. You could read an hour worth of the contract revocations to it, and it will have a very similar essence and feeling to the fire. All right, darling, I got to let you go and move on to the next caller. Thanks a lot for calling in. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okay, excuse me. Joe, you're getting a signal to unmute.
Joe, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing today? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Australia, Sydney. Big surprise to be on.
Welcome.
Great.
Great. Thanks a lot. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be boring, but I'd love to know more about my own background, especially like extraterrestrial connections and sort of just an awareness of who I was, essentially.
Okay. Well, tell me a little about yourself so I can tune into you.
Yeah, sure. I was born on the 23rd of 10th, 1991. I grew up in the UK. Was there for about 20 odd years. Very much a sheltered person, very much within my shell. And about a few years ago, I started to sort of go through the awaken process, really. And it's been quite a rapid journey since then.
Is that a macabre in the background there?
Yeah, I'm walking in a park. It's
okay. So okay. You're walking on a path. I'm like,
yeah.
I used to have macaws as a pet.
All right. Yeah, they're very foreign to me. They're lovely. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, so since I moved here, I've felt like I've really opened up. I'm much more aware of my own spiritual connections, and really just evolved my own learning and process, and made my way to you.
What do you do for a job?
At the moment, the whole Corona situation's really flipped my table. I was a pricing analyst, so I did economics at university, went through that, and I started to consult businesses, essentially what price you should be, what should the value of your product be set at. I stopped doing that because I had a fallout with my old boss, who was a very sort of workaholic, narcissistic type character, very similar to my dad's. Learned a lot off him, but we really just clashed, and then which helped me move on to my next layer of growth and sort of, believing in myself a bit more. Was about to start a new job at a client that I worked with. All looks good. Corona comes along and sort of, just knocks everything over. And then since then, I've been doing more day trading in cryptocurrencies, but really thinking about, how do I grow in the spiritual way, get more into healing and all that sort of stuff. I'm at like a bit of a crossroads.
How much have you mastered crypto?
I'm good at it, I would say myself. I'm very intuitive with it. I think I just understand markets and just the way it works.
So what kind of returns are you giving your own self?
I don't like to sort of set time frames, but I'd expect to make six figures, pretty quickly, a lot more like making my current job. A lot of that's just to do with the market itself, to jump on the right wave at the right time. You don't necessarily have to be the best surfer.
And how long have you been doing this now for? 6 months?
I've been doing the trading not so long, but I followed the markets a long time because it's a passion to me. So for me, I know I'll do well at it because it's a genuine passion. It aligns.
You don't honestly, you don't know you're going to do well. Because no one understands what's going to happen to the system when the Fed here in the United States blows up, because they're not going to support it.
True. Yeah, when the reset and all that sort of stuff, I don't know how the new world's going to set up.
Or the next credit default swaps.
I mean, I'm kind of operating in a bubble in the sense, and I know that, you know, big flips are going to switch in the sense I don't know how the new reality or new systems are going to be set up. And I'm kind of just operating in a space of what can I do in this current world I see without trying to
work on yourself.
Yeah.
Make yourself as important as it was for you starting your own business.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I put a lot of time into my spiritual practices. I do 30 minutes meditation a day, or 20 to 30. I do the Wim Hof daily. I've done 10 days silent meditation before. So even though like I don't do the same amount daily, I'm kind of exposed to what that kind of level of treatment looks like. But yeah, I guess I'm just trying to build myself up more and more. And I find I just need more confidence in myself, really.
So practicing the Wim Hof method and being in those state of silence for long times, those are great things to have, mountains to have climbed, because they show you a lot about yourself. But there are other aspects of the spiritual journey, which is an observational state that you do during ceremony. Have you incorporated any ceremonies? So have you listened to any of the shows I've talked about where we're doing fire ceremonies?
Yeah, I've heard about the ceremonies. I just don't live in a situation to start my own fire. And it's all kind of new to me. And I think I'm just trying to warm up to the concepts, because if I just did this tomorrow, I'd feel a bit like out of place and a bit weird to me. So I feel like I just need to breathe in that stuff a little bit more before I start moving it in.
That's an avoidance.
If that makes sense.
That's an avoidance mechanism.
Is.
That's 100% avoidance mechanism.
What I will say is that my current situation is so unstable because of external factors that I'm just kind of in a situation. I do have a good steer of where I want to go, but a lot of stuff I've got to wait.
The place that you're actually living is in question, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So I mean, my visa situation is very much up in the air. I've got to wait for that paperwork to basically stay in Australia.
But they're not going to let you go back to the United Kingdom. I thought the COVID rules aren't letting anyone go back.
Well, I mean, I think
are you in fucked land where you don't get to go back, but you're forced to deport you?
I mean, I'm kind of under the radar. Let's put it that way. And I don't really want to go back, especially going into winter. And to be honest, all this stuff about whatever's happening on the December 21st, or if that's just a meme, I guess it's like I've got one eye on that.
Nothing's happening on December 21st, and you can't keep one eye on this and one eye on that and one eye on this. You burn yourself out and you lose all your eyes.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of it's just to do with the instability of my situation, where I find it hard to be grounded.
Let me ask you this: what is one thing you can do over the next couple of days that can give your situation stability?
I want to move into a new apartment in a new area, but I'm waiting for confirmation for the job first. And I guess a part of me saying I could prepare more to sort of research a bit more and do all that, which I should, and I know I should. But I've always traditionally left stuff pretty last minute. It's kind of the way I operate.
And you can't afford the place without the job?
Yeah, because I can't sign a new. The current place I'm staying at is off a friend, so there's no real strict lease, and it's good terms, even though it's in a location I don't like. Or not. So yeah, so I kind of just got to wait for the green light on certain things, and I'm just a pretty impatient person, I guess. So that's a lot of
you got to temper your impatience.
Yeah.
Impatience will always lead you down to the more work side.
True, I guess. Yeah, and then I'm also seeing this time as time off. So it's like the isolation, everything. I can build the practices a bit more. So I appreciate all that side. And then
that's why you got to figure out how to go and do a ceremony.
Yeah, I need to graduate and take sort of steps up into it, really.
I call it putting on the big boy panties.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, pull them up all the way to your neck. Go.
Yeah, they're by the knees at the moment, and I'm trying to edge them up.
Exactly. Okay.
And I'm just struggling getting around the way. So
You gotta bust your own balls daily about doing this stuff.
Oh, I do, and I'd love it, but I still have apprehensions of doing certain stuff. But I think
Well, my
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
people are gonna
exactly,
see me.
well, yeah, I mean, but for me, they are big challenges for some reason. I think that's why I want to know a little bit more about my own nature. So I feel just like I'm very oversensitive, and I get all that stuff, and then I'm just curious to sort of how this path was forged for me. And yeah, and especially when it opens up into like the galactic stuff, I love that sphere and that world, and we're just every time I feel like, yeah, I get it and connect with it, and I hear other people have all these experiences, and I'm like, okay, when's my turn, sort of thing. And then I guess like I just got to keep doing what I got to do. But I'd love to know just more awareness about my own history.
Okay. Well, to understand your history is to understand your present. So you're a British in Australia, 400 years after they kicked the people out of their own country. So right now you're in an ancestral resolution phase. So there are a lot of things that you could say comical about your many existences between Australia and Great Britain. There have been many times as a young kid in Britain, you were, let's just say, conscripted by age, let's say age 12, 13, so like a young boy conscripted into the Navy, conscripted into the Army, et cetera, et cetera. And you're essentially a slave at that particular point when you're conscripted into the Army. And you would go from India to, United Kingdom to India, and then you were supposed to be sent to Australia, but the Indians never sent you. They maybe sent you to Iceland or somewhere else. So you got to travel all around the world, but never go to the place you were originally supposed to go to. Quite a few situations where that happened, where your soul was supposed to be sent to Australia and it didn't make it. Now, these are more near terms in the last few thousand years. And right now, this phase that you're in with an uncertain visa, the uncertainty of being able to do your own particular practices, is because your soul has been stuck in a traffic jam for a really long time. And this traffic jam has to deal with Atlantean times, time travel, manipulation, loss of people's identities, timeline assassinations, all the really nasty things that were done to the Atlantean civilizations when it was really trying to like go like Rocky 10 rounds with the dragon.
Yeah, this really resonates with me. Like a lot of the themes are what I feel and see.
Okay. But there's a bigger overarching lesson of vanity here. Now, the Atlanteans were plenty guilty of being vain-ass people. They were technically the good guys, but they were very haughty at the way that they did it. Very nose-looky down at other species at times. They were not perfect light beings, you know. They were quite massive cocks at times.
Yeah, this is probably very true.
They were cocks. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going
to. They pissed off a lot of galactic political parties.
In a nice-hearted way, I'd like to think. In a good humor.
So they were cocks. And some of the karma you're dealing with is when you were a cocky Atlantean.
Yeah, I do feel I have racked up a lot of debt, let's say, and I'm just trying to almost figure out what have I done.
The thing is, one little tiny act of vanity from you is greatly amplified in your unseen world. Because of such of the vain acts of the past, one little act of vanity for you could resolve 1 million years of negative vanity karma for another Atlantean version of yourself.
Okay, so I'm getting struck harder in a sense by certain things to learn.
Vanity itself, yes.
Yeah.
Because every time you learn a vanity lesson, small or large or whatever, I'm not calling you a vain person. It's just built into the way you resolve shit. anytime you're facing vanity, it's a lot more effective in the unseen world.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's kind of like a built-in reaction that I'm
Yeah.
aware of, but it is so strong.
Uh-huh.
And obviously at times you do dip into it, and it's as you described there. But it's something that I'd rather not have, or not have, but be in more control, be more aware of, and essentially understand how it molds me.
Okay. So what does vanity mean to you?
I don't know, like I guess when you say it then I see it almost in a positive light, like a vanity fair. What I mean, when I put stuff on display.
Right. Not all vanity is negative. That is correct.
Yeah.
But why don't you just try to define vanity in your own terminology, and then we're going to expand on something.
I guess yes. I'm struggling with it because I don't really have a strong concept around the word vanity, apart from why I see it vanity. I mean, when someone's very vain, usually it's too much, isn't it?
It's very It's egoic. Yeah. It's a condescending.
Yeah, it's almost narcissistic. We're going down that path anyway, and I think correct. I think my dad was very much like that, which I could see early on.
Did your dad have like a stare at you when you did something bad?
I have no real emotional bond with my dad, as strange as it sounds. Like, kind of, I don't know. I think it's like I just repelled him or he repelled me. And similar with my brother, I get on very well with everyone else. I kind of see it as like my mum had a heart of gold and my dad was just so insecure in himself. And then I could see all the vanity and I could just see how sort of surface and shallow it was, because I could see what, being completely stressed about everything does to a human, like the path it goes, and someone who just doesn't want to change. You can change all the variables. And actually, it's just a sad situation for everyone. Like, no one really benefits out of it, not even the person himself, because, why would you want that scenario yourself? Just very painful, I guess. And I guess for me, I've tried to, over life, understand that, not get too drawn into the negative side, while understanding there's a positive side. But then, obviously, how other people perceive it is another challenge as well. And I guess that's why I'm trying to juggle in a sense.
Okay, so I'm going to give you another thing of vanity. Okay. Hold on a second. Pride or admiration of one's own appearance or achievements. Flattered by one's own vanity. The vanity of human wishes, the quality of being worthless or futile. Yeah, the vanity is also something when you put it up front, put it on a pedestal and measure it. What have you learned from your family about vanity when it comes to some of the negative stuff?
It's just empty. It's kind of, if you anchor yourself to shallow values and stuff like that, when a storm comes, you're just going to get wrecked. And I felt with myself being so sensitive, I just understood that, like, Christ, man, I'm really overreacting to sort of quite soft blows, but I like hammer blows to me. So I think I could empathize with my dad. I was like, man, he grew up in an era without any information. He couldn't really do it himself for whatever reason, for whatever happened. So I just tried to learn and build for myself. And I guess for me, it's like, it's not what I want. It's not what I value in life. It's more about the deeper connections and who you are as a person.
Right. Not, so what vanity taught you is your moral code, things not to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. 100%. It was almost it wasn't like a teacher. It was like, don't do this.
Right. This is the list of shit. This is the list of shit not to
you do. Right? That, and then
list of shit not to do. Yeah. So what I'm trying to get at, there is something,
in a very controlled and safe environment. So it wasn't like
what I'm trying to get at is there is something in you for re-exploring some of the basic stuff you have already learned about vanity, and being able to create a word order that you will help other people understand it with.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Okay. And there's lots of lessons behind subtle vanity too, which is what your mother was.
Yeah, I guess I found it hard to apply the flashlight on my mother's as much. I think sometimes you can be blinded by positivity and we're all humans.
But that was the vanity of her ignorance.
Yeah,
And
I
she-
get it like
and she lived-
savior type thing.
Right. She lived a blissfully ignorant life.
Yeah, I think so. I think I obviously picked up some of that as well. You know what I mean? It's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
again, you know, you can say what you want, but it just doesn't lead to anywhere great. And like for me, so I don't really want to repeat those mistakes. But anyway,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I
All right,
really
brother.
appreciate your time, Andrew.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot. There's a lot of information in that short little time we had.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okay, Lorena C. Getting a signal to unmute.
Lorena, are you there? Lorena.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi, good, thank you.
Okay, where are you calling from today? Right. Where are you
Australia
calling from
as
today? Australia, another Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Aussies in the house today.
Yeah, it's strange.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, there's heaps, but this morning I woke up thinking about the Earth axis for some reason. It's a bit
Okay.
strange.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's because I fell asleep thinking about moving to another part of Australia. And I'm thinking about the climate change and all that. And then, I don't know, I woke up thinking, oh, the Earth is changing. So I'm not sure where to go with that.
The Earth is always changing.
Yeah.
But is consciousness changing with the Earth? The answer is no.
Okay.
Our consciousness isn't shifting. Individuals' consciousnesses are shifting, but not the collective versions of us. And you said you woke up thinking about the axis of the Earth. Has that ever happened before?
No, actually, no, this is new.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of your revocation. I'm trying to sort of remember my dreams because I tend to wake up and forget most of it. Lately, I've been waking up and seeing someone talking to me, but I can't focus
All
on
right.
who
So
it is.
what's going on is something's trying to tune into you in your dream world, and there's something that's going on in you that you're not manifesting in your reality, so the dreams can come through. These are some high frequency communication dreams that are trying to go on. When one sees the axis of the Earth, it's a very specific vision. It's an activation vision. There's a whole other story behind it, but you can't finish the download for whatever's going on in your frequency. Do I hear a child humming in the background?
Yes, my daughter.
How old is she?
She's 11.
11. Do you have any younger children?
No, she's the youngest.
She's the youngest, and the oldest?
The oldest 19.
19.
I got 3 daughters. Yeah.
Do they all live in the house?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they all doing in good shape right now?
Pretty good. Yeah, actually, well, my oldest is going through, which is a kind of a shock for us. She's going through a change of being in a powerless situation where she didn't know what to do. So we often see a kinesiologist, and I think you've met her, Jose Van Roy. Yeah, so we're just checking, we're seeing how she's going. She seems all right at the moment, but yeah, we were a bit worried for her.
Okay, because this is creating a lot of distortions in your dreaming frequency.
Oh, it's still.
Yeah, no, it's you. It's still causing lost sleep.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am waking up more again around 3, 4 in the morning. I'm struggling to go back to sleep.
You're really only getting like 4 hours of real sleep then.
Yeah, that's right.
It's starting to build up against you, and you have to do an active reduction of the stress that you're going through.
Okay.
Do you have anybody that can do body work on you?
Yeah, well, my sister's, but also Yose as well. I'll go see her. My sister's a masseur, but she does also craniotherapy and what's it called? The other one, the Dawn method. Like sort of like chiropractic.
Yep, I know what it is.
Yeah.
You need the cranial sacral right now, and you also need the intraoral mouth work where they tap the pressure points in the inside of the mouth.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah. You're beginning to have some kind of sleep apnea take over you, And whenever you have somebody in a pre-sleep apnea or sleep apnea space state like this, it attracts entities left and right. And they're trying to get you to go through an activation, meaning they're going to pull the activation away because it's too risky, the damage it's going to go to. So it'll be available for you at another time, especially if you can get some rest, and then it'll make itself available to you. And you'll be able to complete that round, finish the download, and go through the activation of what it is for you going on this lifetime.
Okay. Because the last visit I had with Jose, she said that I had a lid over my crown, and she
that's
removed
a good way to.
it.
Yep, that's a good way to
Yeah.
describe it. You still not shining up. You're still not shining up though.
Yeah. No, I felt like yesterday I was listening to your talk about the ear ringing in the how, and I related to the one where it's just really loud buzz static in my head. And that's a lot. And I woke up with the massive like I couldn't hear myself. But then eventually, as I go and do stuff and be present, it sort of dims down. But yes.
That's because you were supposed to be in alignment and be a part of that experience, but for whatever reason you're suppressed and can't experience it.
Yeah, we couldn't work out why I did that.
Well, it's all about what's going on in your particular form of your life right now. You don't have the freedom you thought you were going to have when you were 13.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember when I was really young, I still can't remember. I should have written it down. I feeling this sense of knowing everything, but I lost it, so I'm not sure what that feeling is.
You suppressed it. You didn't lose it.
Okay.
You suppressed your psychic skills, and you got to be aware when you started to suppress your own psychic skills.
Yeah.
When did they start to overwhelm you?
I remember I was sitting in the car because I'm one of 6, and we used to have a lot of friends come and go. We got camping a lot, and I remember telling people about the auras I was seeing, and everyone looked at me like I was nuts. I just felt so little that I decided I don't want to see auras anymore, and I haven't been able since.
You were already overloaded with the energy weeks before that, but that just was the straw that broke the camel's back there.
Yeah.
Okay. All that should have been a part of your greater experience. It's okay. And now it's going to come at a later part in your life. And you've got to start figuring out your alchemical process of unraveling some of your old choices. Okay?
Okay.
And allowing new choices to take place.
Right. Apart from the fire ceremony, what else do you recommend? Because I did some of the revocation over the fires, but it just felt like I didn't pick the right one.
Well, you should do as many as you could by the fire.
Oh, okay.
The whole point of doing them by the fire is to find that empowered state and find the endurance journey to stay in that empowered state. Even when you're not speaking words, you're in that empowered state, and you're using the spoken word to empower the empowered state even more. So that when you go back to your regular life, that's a great lasting memory of how potent I can be at any moment, because I went through the choice of opening myself up to these sacred opportunities. And then after a while of doing it, you'll be able to learn how to open a sacred opportunity up very fast and be able to enter that great glowing flow. You got to find your practitioner way.
Yeah, I've been told that.
Now I'm just confirming it for you. Okay. Time for the
butterfly. I like working with crystals.
Time for the butterfly to come out of the chrysalis and fly.
Yeah, I'm been researching tuning forks and Reiki with crystals. I love crystals. Just trying to find my way with them.
Well, they're great teachers. Just don't obsess about them. Okay?
No.
Okay, there are a lot of people obsess about crystals. and
So it's
obsessed.
just-
Yeah.
yeah.
And you miss so much about what the actual crystals are trying to teach you because you're obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, lately I've been looking at color therapy as well. It's
All of
interesting.
that stuff is beneficial to more than just look at, to put in practice for yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. Anything else you want to ask?
Just could I ask about my mom? Or
Sure. Tell me about her, a little bit about her.
she's got this thing on her nose, and they said it could be cancer. But my sister's been healing it with a crystal, like doing the eight figure, and she's also been using color therapy to decrease it, which it has decreased a fair bit actually from what it was.
Okay. How much is
But
it?
I still
Was
want
it
to
decreased?
cut it.
How much was it decreased?
Well, it used to be a lump of like I don't know, it used to stick up like 2 centimeters up her nose, and she looked like a witch.
Okay.
Like a big whoop, but it's actually gone
Okay.
flat now. And all you can see is like a white circle, which is changing as every day. Where Jose said that white circle is the seed that if it doesn't go away, might need to be removed.
I still think it's going to need to be removed anyways. Whenever
Yeah.
there's facial stuff like cancers, tumors, etc., it is an attack on is what's known as an attack on the residual image.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything facial is an attack, so there will need to be surgery done, and this will be an ongoing thing for her because your mother has a lot of pent-up anger. A lot of pent-up anger.
Yeah, my dad's not easy to be with.
That pent-up anger is also creating the cancer inside her too. Okay.
What could be good work for her to? I've been suggesting for her to. Well, she loves spending time in the garden anyway, but I've been suggesting for her to just start writing letters to her sisters. I think in a way hopefully she's going to open up there.
So your mother doesn't really have the emotional, social skills to maintain the type of healing conversation she wants to have.
No, I don't think so. No, we're not with us anyway. Her sisters are in Argentina.
Even still,
Yeah.
she doesn't have the. I'm not calling her stupid, but the wherewithal to guide the conversation to create a healing of everything that happened. She doesn't have it. She's too emotionally fragile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So probably just Jose is the best bet at the moment.
Hypnotherapy, if she's open to it.
Oh, that's interesting.
They can bring her back to those moments and they can do the releasing through the traumatic moments and whatever the situation was. Regression therapy. Also, you can do bio and neural feedback. Do you know what that is?
No.
So that's a session where they hook you up to a machine that measures your heart rate, your blood pressure, your temperature, your skin conduction. It measures like 25 different testing senses to determine what the body's going through when you talk about certain subject matters or concepts. So it looks for your internal sympathetic, parasympathetic trigger points, and it teaches you to create a counter frequency to it. Okay. Where are you living at now?
In Melbourne.
In Melbourne,
well,
you will have bio-neural feedback people there. I know that they're in Melbourne right now. There's quite a few of them, and the sessions are about 75 euros. Not euros. I don't know what it's switched to in Aussie dollars.
Okay, yeah.
And it'd be absolutely worth it for you to go and do a couple sessions in learning frequency countering.
Okay. Sorry, I'm writing this down as you're saying.
It'll just help you with your spiritual growth.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
All right,
thank you so much for that. That was amazing.
Yes. Robert, is Monty in today?
I believe he is. He's keeping everyone in the chat room entertained. Let's see if we can get him to unmute.
Monty Dean.
Hello. I figured out the buttons properly this time. It's like no pause, unmute, click. All right, there we are.
How you doing today?
Well, my sleeping pattern's just gone nut bugger it and walked off. And just the energy's like, October's special, and like, yeah, it is. Also, Victoria, at least most of Australia, time traveled on Sunday because daylight savings kicked in.
That's right. It's an hour. It's an hour later for you, right?
Yep. I can wake up.
That's why all the Aussies are calling in now. It's not 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 9 o'clock in the morning there.
Yep, we've all had breakfast, showered, and shaved, and especially in Melbourne, got bored. So like, I'll hang out with that Galactic historian dude.
Exactly. Now I understand why you Aussies, you didn't want to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning to listen to me, but 9, yeah, you can.
Don't tell us what to do, man. Hang on. Robert with the questions. Here we go. Ta-da! Yes, I'm real. I'm not a bot. Or am I? I'll share this very quickly. There was footage yesterday of the health minister of New South Wales, and he's doing that normal COVID horse hockey, and he Freudian slipped. Instead of saying we have to get used to this new world, he actually said New World Order, and everyone on the stage panicked, including the sign language interpreter. Like, what? It's like, yeah.
As she signs out, what the fuck?
Like, don't listen to this twit.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really weird because he was saying that, like, yes, outside is dangerous because you may get the virus, but we're seeing a lot of cases inside the house. So being home is being in your house is the safest place ever and the most dangerous as well. I'm like, oh, geez, the double speak is just so much. And then he dropped that clanger of, we have to be careful of a new world order. I mean, a new order. New world. I'm like, okay.
Full-on brain realignment there.
Yeah.
You will conform to what we want. Yes, master.
Yes. And I just thought, the conspiracy theorists are going to have a field day now. You believe in conspiracy theorists? He just said it on national television. I mean,
so it was you and I think a couple of weeks ago that were talking about all the new things that have been uncovered, not new things, all the things that have been uncovered. We need to make a list of what's been uncovered for 2020. What all the shit conspiracy theorists saw real right in front of their eyes.
Well, I shared them. I got it from someone else, but I've seen it. I'll pop up. It's that collective mind where I've got a thought, and then you see it 20 times across social media, like, oh fuck. But one of them is I need new conspiracy theories. All my old ones became real.
Yes. I think that was the line last time we talked. That was the line that triggered me out. What's all come true 2020? Okay.
Yeah. I was watching Razor Fist. He was streaming the latest Star Wars video game, as he does, and someone gave him a super chat via YouTube. What conspiracy theory do you actually believe in? And his answer was, well, it's kind of hard because most of them become true. And I like that, yeah. But you notice as well that the conspiracy theorist is the latest demon in the media. Oh, you're one of those conspiracy theorists. Yeah, it's called logic.
Oh, no, they've made them demons in the 70s and the 60s.
But it's just the latest wave of it because they're fighting the global narrative with the whole COVID thing.
Oh, I get it. The latest wave, the newest way of insulting somebody is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, someone actually released an article where they're trying to connect the Nazi Germany with hippies. They've got 80% the same thing. Yeah. Nazis and hippies are conspiring in a basement somewhere.
So there's
what
zippies.
What we need to do is take over the world, and then with love.
So the hippies are zippies.
Yeah. National Socialist hippie commune.
Exactly.
I don't know how that works.
You will make these vegetables now.
You will have your mung beans and then go hug a tree. Yeah. And apologies to any Germans out there. It's a very bad. It's nothing. That's what I like. Yeah. Oh, but the Nazis in Germany, we have to hate Germany. It's a political party, and Hitler was an Austrian. Apologies to the Austrians. Austrians?
The Austrians.
Yeah, I think I've just created a new alien race.
Yeah.
Forget blue chicken. We have ostriches.
They're half Austrian, half chicken.
Yeah, they cook themselves efficiently. One week, because on my radar, talking about I hate the English language and I hate labels, but the ascension symptoms that we're going through, with whatever happening to consciousness, it's strangely enough, they're all turning into coronavirus symptoms. I'm like, I wonder if there's a connection.
Before coronavirus, they were all flu, and before flu, they were all just airy fairy shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, brave PESD, a soldier comes back with shell shock. That's 100 years ago, but even before shell shock, they would have been called a coward. So it's interesting how things get labeled. But we'll get to radiation in a second. But people are going through things differently as they're
because they have different coping mechanisms. Yeah.
I've got it's not a pain. It's on the pain level, but it's a feeling, and it's right. Like if as you look at me face forward, right behind the pineal gland, there's like a feeling, and because my comedic brain's like, oh, well, that sounds boring. Let's spice that up. It's the backseat third eye. The backseat driver for the third eye. like, don't show him that. Will you shut up and try to do things? But that's at the top of the spine, and that's sort of where I'm feeling whatever's happening, because it's October, thinning of veils and just energies and everything else like that. Also, my sleeping patterns just walked out the door, so I'm not dealing with you.
Mm-hmm. It's a tumor. You gotta go. It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a rumor. There, you can do that with the conspiracy thieves. It's not a rumor.
It's not a rumor.
But that's sort of the only thing. Mind you,
your third eye backseat driver, that's technically your shadow.
Okay, because they came up in the chat before where I jokingly said my shadow's tired because of all the stuff that's going on, and it's like, hey, I want to sit down. Oh, look, kids, a bench. I want to sit down and have a rest.
You know what it is? You've put your shadow in the back seat, and you had 15-inch bass speakers installed in your thing, and you've been driving with a loud thump for a long time and forgot shadow was back there.
Do you hear something? Boom, boom.
No. Exactly. And then you stop the car, the shadow's like, motherfucker, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, maybe I'm trying to do some instant karma on my shadow. See what you did? Now you're gonna do it again. I can't hear a word you're saying.
Pesky shadow. Bad shadow. I'm gonna kick the rolled up newspaper to your nose.
Down, I say. So that's sort of where I'm at. Just trying to live in the moment, but also it does feel in the last 24 hours in linear time. Mm-hmm. I've either shifted or the energy shifted, because it's really weird. I tried to, I'm going to probably bore people, move my iTunes library to an external drive, and after 3 days of swearing at my computer a lot, I've gone, okay, I'll just put it back. And it seems like that's a manifestation of what's happening, if that makes sense. Like it's half my
you're refusing to back yourself up.
Yeah. Oh, I backed it up, but it just wouldn't transfer from the main hard drive to the external hard drive.
It's still a malfunction there.
Yeah. So, and then because you have all these plays, and so I've lost numbers and everything else, like blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, so I've my timeline had a branch, and I've just from my iTunes experience, I've gone back to I'm back there again. All right, let's try it again. So you know me being a lazy time lord, where like, no, I'll just sit in 3D time and go extremely slowly.
So for people that may not know, explain the lazy time lord.
Well, it's basically being kind of Atlantean, a bit cocky, if I can say it that way. I like that. They were dicks. Like, yeah, that explains a lot. You have the power of traveling through all space and time, and everything happens at once. And so I decided to stay at the lowest vibration or the lowest density in time, so it's moving extremely slow. And the laziness is like, you have all this stuff to do, so I'll slow down extremely far, deep, to almost a complete stop. And yeah, I'll get to it. I've got time. That's the lazy time lord. Instead of like traveling here and doing the work and everything.
I've got an infinite amount of time.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, oh yeah.
You have all these.
Watch
exactly.
this, motherfucker.
Exactly. You have all these last second deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've gone from lack to slack.
Yeah. Your little time ward watch beeps. Beep 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 beep. I'm good. I got another year.
Ooh, my 5-year alarm's going off. I better do something. So if everything's happening now, I'm trying to stretch it out to now. Let's test this theory about time and slow it down extremely fast. And it's interesting where like I jokingly say, but it's very true. Remember the heady days of February?
Yes. Well, those clear days when no conspiracy theories had proved themselves yet, daily.
Yeah,
where we could
what
be
a decade.
honorable conspiracy theorists with no proof.
Yeah, that wacky funster with his ideas, by May. Oh dear God, no. It's interesting having conversations with you sometimes. What about this? No. What about this? Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like 2020. Oh, I'm glad when it's over. Sure.
Yep. Just wait. You got 2021 coming. You thought 2020 was interesting?
I shared a meme. It was God talking to Gabrielle. And God says, so did you do all that? Did you put all that history in the 2020s? Oh yeah. I was just like, wait, 2020s? Yeah. I put it all in 2020. You put a decade's worth of history into a year? Yeah. Well, shit.
No, that is what you told me, right? Here's the paper says put it all in.
Hey. Why didn't you know about this, God? Yeah.
God, I'm not taking the fall for you.
Not again. Not with
this
that.
This is not like the Pope down on Earth,
This is Lucifer all over again.
The whole infallible thing. I didn't make this mistake.
Yeah. I like that when people talk. That was the Prime Creator's first mistake. Well, I'm not sure.
Definitely wasn't his first.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, I'm sure the Prime Creator makes mistakes, but that's to learn.
Sometimes he gets drunk and does mistakes.
Yeah, but he would be a lonely. It would be a lonely drunk because he's all he was and will be. Like, I have no one to talk to. I'm going to create reptilians,
and I'm going to fuck over all these beings with duality.
So you just want two choices, and now we can talk about politics. I did watch the vice presidential debate. Pence won, and the fly came second.
I don't see Pence as winning, and I don't see Harris as winning either. I see the fly as winning.
Well, yeah, that is true, but I mean, I'm not saying Pence was fantastic.
Like flies to shit. Yeah. It went to the shit. Okay.
Yeah, the good shit compared to the bad shit. That's like Trump won. When people you got two. Trump won, but he was terrible, and it was a horrible debate. But out of all that crap, he still won compared to Biden. So the scale here is not big. So Pence won, like that, not like that, not like 16 stories.
The fly won.
Well, that's the thing where
that fly got its 15 minutes of vice presidential famous.
Yeah, because the left media have gone, the fly. You're like, yeah, that's how good the debate was. Right. The fly won.
The fly won, exactly.
I just can't wait. So I know I should bring ask the same question because in every now everything changes, and with consciousness and all that type of stuff. What do you see on November 3rd? Because we usually have three options: Trump wins, Biden wins, we don't know, and everything goes to shit. So just sort of updating.
Q REM song. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah, but that's kind of good because it's corrupt and shit. Like, that's one thing. Like, we have to save this planet. What? So the evil fucks can continue ruining the planet? Maybe a change is needed. I'm just putting that out there.
How about we make a change at the same time we're doing this rebellion thing?
Well, see, I think that's what, as they call them, Team Dark. They're maybe using pure astrology because they know more information than most people because of
they
cycles.
use dark astrology.
Yeah, and they sort of know what's coming down the pike. I have no idea what that's a road metaphor, and
Pike?
so
It's
they're
a
trying to
toll
call.
road.
Yeah, okay. They're trying to create chaos so they can keep in control for an event, because the words event have been weaponized.
Hijacked, weaponized, bastardized,
Yeah, so,
sullied.
yeah, we get the point, Andrew. All right, destroyed, taking out the back shot. Yeah. So yeah, whatever. There's change happening, but it's not going to be instantaneous. But it does look like the dark are trying to keep control, and because they're pushing, they seem to be. I mentioned on Planet Collingwood, which is my roundtable, 2 a.m. Wednesdays on Revolution Radio. So most of you probably won't listen to it. It's on my YouTube channel. But we sort of came to the conclusion that the people that were trying to, or controlling the chaos behind the scenes to get what they want, have lost control of the chaos.
Well, that's what I was saying in February.
Yeah, but it's you can see it now because like on.
You saw it in February. They were just more organized. It took them 6 months to get this disorganized.
We'll see. Well, yeah.
The cabal is still a bureaucracy.
I bring that up. Like, even if the New World Order comes in, it will only last 8 months. Has anyone tried to get a license from the DMV? Oh, yeah. Right. I like David Icke. I quote him as well. The planet is ruled by psychopaths, but run by idiots. We want you to do this and do it properly this time.
Exactly. And do it in triplicate.
Yeah. So that's probably the awakening. It's where people's like, I know how to save humanity and get out of this mess. Paperwork. Okay, fine. Yeah, I just don't really see, a superhero comic where the hero goes in and hands in some forms to the IRS and is like, he's our hero.
He's Paperman.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, getting into the birth certificate and being a debt slave. It kind of makes sense where you don't need to drive around with your license and you can say, I do not consent. The problem is you need about 6 billion people to do that at once. If you do it by yourself, usually the policeman has a gun.
Yeah, you end up fuckered.
Yeah, you can link it to we need someone in politics to run on the anti-corruption bill, but they only last about a week.
So how about you and I run for 2024?
Well, yeah. I'll be Obama then because I wasn't born in the country.
So you'll be my Sudanese Australian,
English-born Australian who moved to Sudan for a month to get the paperwork.
Because he's Paperman.
Yeah, I like the name of the comedy, Bartzis and Dean. We'll have straw hats and canes. I say.
Exactly.
Economic reform. I'm not sure how many people would vote for us, but it's a nice idea.
Well, I'm sure we'll get us, if Mickey Mouse can get 1 million votes every year, we can too.
Well, I mean, he hasn't done much work over the last decade. I mean, he had a good career in the 30s.
Yeah, then he became a drunk in the 50s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Walt died, and then it just went really weird.
Yeah, it did really bad. Exactly. It went dark.
So how's it feel 7 years later going 21st of December, nothing's going to happen? I've said this is 7-year cycle again.
Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to continue to happen. To see people at the same scale and size the 1960s and 70s, which is billions upon millions of people in every city, in every state, in every country, marching for months and months and months in a row. Then you know something's happening. Okay?
So it's going to take a while. Great.
No, it's going to take something to unhinge people a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the political theater we've got going on right now is doing a pretty damn good job of it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a soap opera nobody can stop watching. And you have all these,
true, yeah.
and you have all these undead characters that keep coming back to life, like Hillary's emails, zombie emails. Or
definitely. Try and live in Melbourne or Victoria. I stand with Dan. Like, really? We're more harsh than East Germany during the Soviet times, but yeah, okay.
Okay. And then we have all the conspiracies, the side characters in the soap operas, and the conspiracy theories getting validated by their own tyrannical government.
Well, there's that too. And the one I like is JFK Jr.'s coming back. What, from the dead?
Don't you know he and Q have breakfast every night at Denny's?
But a different Denny's. It's always a different Denny's. That's why you can't see them.
Exactly. It's always a different Denny's. That's why they're open 24 hours a day. Just for the dead Kennedys.
Ah, yes.
Double reference.
Oh, yeah. Jello is doing some work and he's released a t-shirt, fuck Nazi Trumps. And I'm like, really? Like, yeah. I mean, Donald Trump may be evil, but he's not a Nazi. His grandchildren are Jewish. He supports Israel. Worst Nazi ever.
Yes, it's like becoming Jews for Jesus. Man, don't work.
Hey, I like what he says. He's got some great ideas.
Mm-hmm. May not like the giving the money back for the sin thing, but it still works.
Yeah, but it's economical. There's a payoff.
We just got to get him to chop off the tip of his penis. He'll be good.
I'm sure he did. As Robin Williams says, you don't want to walk around the desert for 40 years and get sand in there.
Hold on 1 second. I got a message here. Yes. To Robert, that it just messaged in the secret Skype. We have something from behind the scenes at our illustrious Galactic Historian Studios. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, thank you, Scoff Drops. Yeah, you're global, darling.
Cats all over the world going, did some cat just meow in my spot?
That is the call to our... we must rise up against our humans. Oh, hang on, Scoffy. People want to see it. Yeah, I know. Look, there you go. He beats me. She can hear that. All right. Yes.
All right,
So
Robert,
that's
do you want to play that?
Sure, we can play it.
Okay, everyone sit back and relax. Robert is going to play you something a little humorous.
It sounds good. Can't see it.
Can't see it.
Ah, you're kidding me.
Nope.
Let's try that one again. Okay, everyone got to hear the music. Gotta love Zoom. Here we go. Can you see it now? There you
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. A farting unicorn. It took us a long time to FU Productions.
Yep, yeah. I could save the planet, but I just create ideas like that. Well, if we're calling a farting unicorn, we can just call it FU and seem like we're insulting our audience, but we're not.
We're effing you.
Yes.
We're blowing rainbow farts at you.
Yeah. With love.
So we will be making some comedy shorts coming from FU Productions in the short time. We've been working in the background with some really fun people. And thanks a lot to everyone that's been putting in their time, effort, and energy. And we will get some of these projects going even to a further state. But we just wanted to share that with everyone.
Yeah, sort of tell people so now we have to keep doing it. So it's cemented into the reality.
I see a scoff chop's tail.
Yeah.
See, the more you talk to her, the more she's around you. So let's help Bonnie speak cat. What is Bonnie's, everyone type in the chat room, what is Bonnie's cat telling him?
You have the quietest purr. Tuna? She doesn't eat tuna. I've tried. Oh, you do eat tuna. Okay, fair enough. She only be more funny. That's harsh, man. Don't make me come there. I have no idea where you live, and I can't leave Australia or Melbourne. Yes, that's right, Scoff Drops.
Yeah,
you're the center.
You need colonics.
Are you saying I'm full of shit, mate? She has food in her bowl. She doesn't need to be fed. She probably needs to be carried to a bowl, though. It's like,
yeah, yours has reached that level of requirements. You must carry her from door to door for her to go door to door.
I am a killing machine, and I can run like the wind. But no, human, you carry me to 3 feet. Yeah, I know she likes love and attention, but she doesn't like to be cuddled. It's like, oh, pay attention. Then cuddle, like claws come out and her head's fall away.
So why don't you do a reading for your cat?
I've been trying to do that for a while. She's so good at trying to figure out what she's talking about.
You do them every Friday show.
Yeah, but that's just your generic reading, so people don't ask you for a reading. Oh, okay. Well, apparently she was born in Purley in Scotland. She went to Japan and trained as a ninja, and then she became an assassin for hire, and her code name is Mixassin.
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 There you go.
Yeah.
That is the legend of Scoff Chops grows.
Yeah, the ninja cat.
The ninja cat.
Yes, quiet purr, loud meow.
Silent but purry.
Yes. Do you hear something?
No,
I didn't scare you. I scared you. So, yeah, all right.
So I ask you a conspiratorial typey question here. So they've rolled out in Victoria. What do you see them rolling out next?
They tried to pass a bill, but the public found out about it and said, no. Where I can't remember what it was called. Hopefully someone in chat would know it. But the idea was that any government employee could arrest people. The omnibus bill. Thank you. When they wanted to get anyone who could arrest people for being outside or breaking quarantine or just, hardcore, like
fucking citizen police. Holy shit, that's 1984.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you can see Hitler and Mussolini going, dude, calm down.
It's a little extreme there.
Yeah. It's weird too, where we're getting close to, because we're still technically in stage 4 lockdown. And I think the goal is the 19th of October. But they're kind of worried of, but there's mystery cases popping up. And if you look into how they test things and whatever, because if it's just a hardcore seasonal flu or a very weak pandemic level, it's like, well, how? Because if they're not actually testing for the coronavirus, they're testing for antibodies or something like that. And so I can see Christmas being in lockdown. I don't know. Also, because I'm lazy and I'm enjoying everyone's living my lifestyle now. That's the kind of scary thing when the world goes into lockdown and nothing changes. Like, ooh, I really should have a social.
The stock market, barely a blip. Nothing. It's fine.
All the hermits of I've been doing this for months or years. Yes, hermits unite, sort of. And it really depends because are they going to roll back? Classic government of we'll introduce this, and it's been on for the last 60 years. When they do that type of thing, it's very rare they roll backwards certain things. Be interesting to see if they do that, because they're trying to go for the new COVID normal. And as you've said all year, COVID is the gift that keeps on giving. I think people, we had it's a cold spring day here because we're going through a cold snap. How spring goes up and down, going from the changes. About a week and a half ago, we had our first warm day, and everyone's gone, let's go to the beach. And there was arrests and protests. And, the premier was angry, we hold the course, and, because from their perspective, it's still a lethal, deadly disease, and yet we're not seeing the numbers of it. Because shouldn't there be, if you look at the death rate from this year and last year, there would be more, if that makes sense. But now no one's died from asthma or emphysema or anything else like that. Everyone's died from corona, and the numbers are less, which kind of makes sense because everyone's locked down because there's less interaction.
The thing is, they also know nothing about this virus.
Oh yeah,
they know absolutely nothing about this virus. Somebody's asking, is the market going to drop anytime soon? Sure, but it's all predated, and everything that's going to fall is the big boys deleveraging themselves and giving the toxic assets to other people who won't know there are toxic assets for another few years.
Eventually, it will collapse on its itself, because it's just it's been dying since the global financial crisis in 2008. It's all fake, and it's been propped up, and they're throwing bricks into the Grand Canyon.
It was fake long before the 2000s.
Oh, yeah. It
was fake long before that.
Yeah, but it's collapsed in on itself because it is fake.
Well, no, the fakes can stop the collapsing. It's fake it.
Well,
none of the fundamental numbers mean anything anymore.
That's the one thing I did find fascinating with this planet. You can get away with anything, but you have to pay the debt. And is that a natural law of the planet, or is that brought in by the dark?
That's the dark. That's the dark.
That's pure dark.
Them.
Okay,
pure them. Yeah, pay us, bitch, even in death.
Yeah, I'm talking across the board, be it lunch money, spiritual. Have to pay the debt, and it's fascinating. Really, everything. Hillary Clinton, eating babies, raping children, all this type of stuff. But if you borrow money from a bank, they'll hound your grandchildren to get the debt back, which was created on a computer. And if you pay the principal back, interest. So Babylonian.
Well, the thing is, they want to have life and death surcharges. You want to get into the right soul family? Pay up.
Yes, I had some interesting times when you basically pointed out, the rest of the galaxy works like a business as well. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
It is. It's a giant spiritual commerce market.
Yes, Scoffy, I understand. I used a big word there. Thank you. It's and if anything happens to my physical body, I am turning into a spiritual Karen. I would like to see the Prime Creator
right now.
Not now.
Exactly. It better be done before I say these words.
Before this now. I know how you work.
Exactly. You've got precognitive workforce, so get your now ass over here.
You should have known I was coming. I am you, you are me.
Yeah. Why am I not being treated right here?
Yeah. It's interesting. I think would you agree that the time to wake people up is everyone's on their personal journey, and it's like an inside job. So if people wake up, it's because of them. I don't need to go around with pamphlets and try and wake people up to things. That time's over, isn't it?
There was never a time where pamphlets were going to do anything.
Yeah, but well, that was just an example. But I know for me personally,
that's what I'm trying to say is most people were already predetermined if they were going to be awake or not.
Okay, yeah,
and the predetermination is how you've been since a young life. What are the requirements for being an awake? That early in your life you knew shit was wrong and you forced yourself to go to sleep so you'd be normal.
Yeah.
You turned off the infinite because the reality wouldn't allow you to see it.
I must be tuning into the right frequency because when you said that, I had like 80 people go, "Oh,
yeah," because they all explain it as a shared experience. Okay,
that's a little. And now the puzzle's getting bigger.
Okay.
That piece, yeah.
Then after you went to sleep, your snooze alarm went off. Said, "Wake up, fucker!" No, fuck, I'm 40 now with kids. Holy shit! Why am I seeing all this shit?
Wait a minute, I'm a fractal of the prime creator. All right, let's go.
Exactly.
I have no idea what I was talking about, but that's good to know, though. So
wake up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wake up. Time to wake up, fucker.
Because everyone, it's fascinating. Just it's becoming personal, and I know you explained it where there is a narrative. There's going to be a flash, and everyone's going to wake up, and like that's kind of correct, but you have to jumble the words up, and it's like you wake up, you save yourself, you wake up. And because you go into no time, it does look like a flash and everyone goes through. But in Roman numeral time, it could take up to 70 years.
Yeah, but it could just be a guy from New York flashing you.
Ooh. Well, yeah.
You still got flash, didn't you?
Or explain how he's doing a solar flash.
Was it the light worker flash you wanted?
Yeah. Jeremy, please. Jeremy, no.
So, all those flash people, nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no solar sneeze, tattoo, no solar flash, no pole shift.
And yet the magnetics are playing funny buggers. So here's a kind of question. Are we in a end of a cycle or many cycles that the planet's gone through before, and or is it different now because we're raising our consciousness? Are we working with the planet, or does this planet go through this every 3,000 years or something like that? What is happening with radiation and
so all the lazy Time Lords watches have given their final 5-minute beep, and you got 5 minutes to get all your shit done at once.
Now, is that like solar 5 minutes, galactic 5 minutes?
That's still to be seen.
Yes, I know. That's the fun part of being a lazy Time Lord. What time illusion am I dealing with here? Like galactic? That's about 3,000 years.
Exactly. You'll find out, won't you?
Or after 5 minutes, someone hands you a 6D bus pass. I'm like, oh, I made it. What the fuck is this?
What happened to 5D? And nothing. Don't worry about it.
Shh. So what we're going through is new. I get that it's new, but is it a natural cycle of the planet, or is it completely? Is it a bit of both, or is it a completely thing where
it is both natural, unnatural, on many different scales and densities and dimensions?
Yep.
And it is predetermined and not predetermined at the same time.
That no plan.
Yeah. And how do I put this? It's definitely new, though there are some older themes involved in it.
Yeah.
But the newness factor, I mean, you had to market it, the Great Awakening, 50 million years ago for souls to buy into it. Although it's going to be like that Fire Fest thing that went terribly wrong that year ago. Did you hear about that?
No.
The Ja Rule guy that tried to rent an island in the Caribbean and have this giant party, and tickets were supposed to be $200,000, and they got there and they were disastrous. There was nothing. It was basically tents, no DJs, no stages, no nothing. Yeah, Fire, okay. FYRE, Fire Festival.
Yeah, that sounds like Earth. Can you imagine, like, when the soul leaves Earth after all this is over? Would you recommend Earth to family or friends? Fuck no. One
Fuck
star.
no,
one star,
exactly.
1 star.
Earth's Yelp is not very good.
just watch the TV series.
You know that the Yelp thing. Though, you know that whole free will thing. You never get anything on time here.
Like, yeah, no, you've got free will. Then there's Earth free will.
Then there's Earth free will. Exactly.
Like someone, the devil's evil. No, he's just a good salesman. Try this. I mean, you'll pay for it. There's that debt thing, but he's not luring anyone. Like, I got the image of the devil sitting in hell, just sitting and going, "I'm not doing anything. You're doing it to all yourself." True, I have offers. There's T-shirts. There's magnets.
And what's God doing? What's he offering?
Well, strangely enough, they're the same entity. So, like, God's going, you want to play with duality? Here you go.
Here you go. Both good and evil simultaneously.
So, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So there is a new fact. That's where the old themes, like, because, well, how far back? Because I'm trying to think when the last time that we had, graduate, we had a good thing, if that makes sense. Because I know about the fall of Lemuria or Atlantis and all this bad shit that's been happening.
Last time there was a positive awakening, harvest, etc.
Yeah. I don't like the word harvest, but I know what you're saying.
Well, no, good harvest, like reaping the fields that you've sown.
Okay, it's a personal. Okay. Yeah.
59 million years. Give or take another 5 million years.
That's probably why we're tired. It's like, I want to talk to that salesman. Yeah, come to Earth. You'll graduate. It's fantastic. I'm going to punch you in a minute.
I'm contractually obligated to be here, motherfucker.
So, there's car salesmen that you see. There's galactic ones.
Exactly. Galactic used car salesman.
See the Earth? You can fit 80 billion people on this planet.
They're going to charge you for being there. Do you know what this means?
Have you heard of a term called rent?
Rent, exactly. Do you know you got to pay for food too, right?
Yeah. Do you like putting things on your feet?
And love is purchasable. Do you realize that? It's a commodity, paid for commodity.
Now, we all know that money doesn't buy happiness, but you can rent it.
Exactly, but you can rent it.
Yes. Going, oh, well, rent, we've gone through that. Yes, well, see. You give money as a talisman for an energy exchange, and that controlled by the dark force. I've said too much. You wait and see. So I would recommend.
Then they have this wonderful thing called false light.
Oh, yeah. But wait, there's more. Instead of following a path, there'll be distractions all the way through. Like there's gold, and then there's fool's gold, which strangely is much more shinier than gold. Have you heard of religion? Well, there's a smorgasbord of religions that may or may not work.
And then there's this thing called the petrodollar.
Oh, wait till you find out about that.
Yes.
See, there's this self-sustaining goop under the planet called oil. Well, and you get told that they're the bones of dinosaurs, and they have a false scarcity.
Oh, and then, a lot of our guys left a whole bunch of shit around the things called pyramids.
Yeah. Now this is a fixer-upper. It's not a brand new planet. It's been lived in before. They've left some stuff behind, but don't worry about that. It's a fixer-upper.
It's definitely a fixer-upper. Just wait till you see what's in the basement.
Yeah. And to answer to bring in what Kimberly's saying, yes. And there's false synchronicity as well, just to throw you off the path.
Literally.
Yes. Now, do you have a spare 50 million years? Because that's how long this game will go for.
Right. Welcome to your source disconnection school.
It's fantastic. It'll be lovely.
All right, Monty, let's call it an end to the show today because we've got a comedy show tomorrow for everyone.
Yeah, now we have to come up with material because we've just wasted it in half an hour.
We'll do fine.
Oh, of course.
All right, why don't you give a way for people to get a hold of you?
I am on YouTube on Wafer Thin Entertainment. I'm up to 417 subs. I got like 30 subs over a week. I'm like, oh, lordy. On Instagram, I'm monty.dean. That's where I share my memes. On Facebook, my personal page where with memes and stuff is Monty, just Monty Dean. And yeah, is that all? I think that's all. On Twitter, at Real Monty Dean. If you want to walk through that minefield of ideas, or just want to see how batshit crazy humanity can get, I use it for material.
Twitter, the cesspool.
Yeah.
All right, Robert, take us away. We'll be back, everyone, tomorrow, 6 to 8 Eastern time for a really advanced comical show. Do not come with a stick up your ass and be ready to laugh.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence. Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important? Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.